things will start to happen. Oh, I was on the wrong. Damn, now I jacked it all up. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for being here, man. Yeah, the NBA Finals are finally over. So, you know, there was that for Sixers fans and fans of other teams, there was that period of just waiting for this to end so that we could get started on, you know, talking about the draft, free agency, etc., and start looking at, you know, what could actually happen to improve, hopefully attempt to improve your favorite NBA team. So it's over. The Boston Celtics won. Congratulations, Boston Celtics. I guess. You know, you did it. You won. You were better than everybody else. I know people want to call it a Mickey Mouse title run, and you played every team you played got injured, and that's true. But realistically, did any of those teams, even healthy, have enough to stop that arsenal of talent? You know, so it is what it is. Jaylen Brown wins Finals MVP. Jason Tatum becomes the first player in, 20 years or so to lead his team in points, rebounds, and assists and not win Finals MVP. So we got to admit, you know, even us Sixers fans, we got to admit that Jason Tatum is an elite role player. Okay. He is, in fact, the Michael Jordan of Tobias Harris's. It just is what it is. The narrative's a little bit entertaining for me right now because Celtics fans didn't just want to win the championship. For some reason, they really wanted Jason Tatum to win Finals MVP. They want him to be an NBA MVP so bad because they want to have that player that they could talk about that's, you know, Jokic, Embiid, Luka, whoever, one of the best players in the world. They want to be able to say that. And so far, you know, you just can't say that. But shout out to Jaylen Brown. Congratulations to him. Again, I talked a bunch about him last season, about how he was overpaid and he has no bag and he can't use his left hand and all these things. He improved a hell of a lot into these playoffs, and, you know, congratulations to him for winning Finals MVP. Defense at the end of the day won championships, man. The defense won the championship. Kyrie Irving could not get a bucket the entire series. Jaylen Brown's on-ball defense was incredible. Of course, Drew Holiday, Derek White, you know, the whole team of perimeter defenders. It's really how they dominated the Dallas Mavericks. And so I'm glad Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP because his defense was probably the most important thing that happened in that entire series. So shout out to that and congratulations, Boston Celtics fans, whatever, you won, okay? You won, all right? 158 people in here right now. Give me 158 likes. Let's get down to business. Von Taka, my man. Oh, man, I love you. I appreciate the support. And I'm happy to keep taking your $5. But every single show now, you ask the same exact question. I can't answer the same question. I can't keep answering the same question, bro. I'm going to start, give me your Venmo. I'm going to start giving you your money back for these super chats. You keep asking the same question. I don't understand. No, I would not be interested in trading anything for Paul George. If they can sign him outright, I'm down for it. If you have to give up assets, my answer is no. But shout out to you, man. Thank you for the support. I just wish, you know, if you're going to keep dropping me money, give me a new question or something. You know what I mean? All love, though, my guy. All love. Let's get down to business, man. So this came out today. Shout out to my man Nick Marchetti. He's always the first one to tag me on Twitter on things that go down. And let me get it up here. Producer, you're fired. Here it is. Here it is, man. We gotta laugh a little bit, and Sixers fans, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for another Daryl Morey offseason. All right. John Clark reports, I'm told the Sixers held a free agent workout and tryout for a former first-round draft pick of Daryl Morey in Houston, Sam Dekker. Yes, the Sixers had a tryout for Sam Dekker. The first piece of news we get when the finals ends and the offseason officially begins is that Daryl Morey once again went back in his damn Houston Rockets yearbook, flipped through the pages until he found someone that he likes. Doesn't care about his age, doesn't care about the last time that he played, doesn't care if he was good the last time that he played, doesn't care about it. For some reason, Daryl Morey only knows James Harden, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and any player that's ever played for the Houston Rockets. I mean, PJ Tucker, Daniel House Jr., Montrezl Harrell, who he signed twice. The second time was last year, after he was completely unplayable the year before that. He actually signed him again. And here we go with it. We're going to start out with Sam Dekker. That's who we're going to start out with. The last time Sam Dekker played meaningful minutes in the NBA was 2019. I believe he played 1 minute in the NBA in 2021. This is what we're doing? It already begins. Here's the thing. I'm finally at the point where I'm not overhyping anything. I'm right here live on YouTube in front of your face telling you I expect nothing good to happen. Because what I witnessed last offseason was absolutely trash. He re-signed Montrezl Harrell. We were like, what? Then he signed Mo Bamba. We were like, what? Last minute Kelly Oubre's signing ended up being the third best player on the team. And he's going to start out with Sam Dekker. So prepare yourself for another just very odd, head-scratching offseason at the helm with Daryl Morey at the helm. I'm at a loss for words. I know I'm supposed to talk on here. I don't even know what to say about this. This is an absolutely ridiculous rumor, and if it's true, we're in for another head scratcher, guys. So prepare yourself, man. Prepare yourself. I don't get it. I don't know. But I got plenty of other things to talk about anyway. Okay, shout out to everybody in here. Give me 1 million likes. We got a new Alex Caruso rumor from the Chicago Bulls. If you guys were hopeful, a lot of people keep throwing his name out there. Sixers should get Caruso. They should sign PG. They should trade picks for Caruso. We got something from the Chicago Bulls that might have shut that down. We got a little nugget on OG Anunoby and the Knicks and how the Sixers name was brought up in those topics. Apparently there is a Kyle Lowry sweepstakes. And then Bleacher Report made some predictions about the free agency this season that includes Tobias Harris no longer being a Philadelphia 76er. And that's what should happen. Hopefully it does happen. Thank you all for hanging out with me, man. We'll be up here for about another 30 minutes or so. This is brought to you by Game Time Ticket app. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of the NBA, which makes getting playoff tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app go down the closer it gets to tip-off. Here's the website right here. Phillies Padres tonight at 6:40, and right here you can see on the website they give you these little flash deals. Here's the cheapest available ticket tonight in Philly, $35. You can catch a Phillies game in Philly against the San Diego Padres for $35 only on Game Time Ticket app. And if you find it cheaper after you pay for it, they'll refund you 110%. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets and MLB tickets and all other tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Look at that. $35 ticket in Philly, $20 off. Bro, you can't beat that. Click the link in my description, create an account, and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Terms apply. Let's move on. The Sam Dekker thing has me scratching my head, bro. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. But this was brought up yesterday, maybe the day before, and I find this to be just hilarious. I mean, like, what? The LA Clippers are the favorites to win the Kyle Lowry sweepstakes. Per Bovada official parlay boost betting, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Phoenix Suns, the Toronto Raptors, the New Orleans Pelicans, and Golden State Warriors. So somebody knows something about where Kyle Lowry is going to sign. Of course, he played for the Sixers last year on a minimum contract. He probably, I mean, obviously, he would like to get more than that. He's about to turn 39 years old. I'm not interested in re-signing Kyle Lowry at all. At all. Not that I don't like what he did last year. I would like to get away from the Kyle Lowry, Nick Nurse connection because I think Nick Nurse is a little bit delusional about Kyle Lowry. And Kyle Lowry burned out last year playing 30-plus minutes in the playoffs, gave you back-to-back goose eggs in Game 5 and Game 6. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't have enough left to play the amount of minutes that Nick Nurse played him. And I predicted that when they first signed him that was going to happen. People thought I was crazy. I hit the nail on the head. So if he signs with one of these teams and he goes and gets himself, 15 minutes off the bench or whatever, that's more of a Kyle Lowry role. The role that he was playing in Miami before the Sixers signed him. Isn't that crazy? He was playing like 10, 15 minutes a game off the bench in Miami. Sixers signed him, and Nick Nurse immediately played the guy 35 minutes and started him the rest of the season and the playoffs. What? That's crazy. So please, Clippers, Lakers, Phoenix, Toronto, whatever, whoever, please offer him enough money that the Sixers aren't tempted to sign him and they have to go in a different direction because I just don't like the Kyle Lowry, Nick Nurse connection because Nick Nurse is a little bit delusional about him. It's almost like when someone's coaching their own kid in high school, they're always going to play their kid more than everyone else, even if their kid's not as better than anybody on, you know what I'm trying to say. Maybe a weird analogy, but whatever. Kyle Lowry sweepstakes. Go ahead, Clippers. Do it. Do it, man. You know what, Clippers? Max out James Harden. Let Paul George walk and sign Kyle Lowry. Do that. What do you guys think about Kyle Lowry, man? What do you guys think, bro? Thoughts on Cameron Payne? 100%, bro. Bring him back. Bring back Cameron Payne. That's why I put Kelly Oubre and Cameron Payne on the thumbnail. Yeah, bring back Kelly Oubre, bring back Cameron Payne. So today, thanks for bringing that up, actually, because that was a topic that I wanted to start with, and I totally forgot to talk about it, is Sixers free agents, and they can begin negotiations with their own free agents right now up until June 30th, which is when teams can begin negotiations with all free agents. So the new collective bargaining agreement allows you to have conversations and negotiations with your own free agents before other NBA teams get to talk to them. That doesn't mean anybody's going to sign anything because I understand what the CBA is trying to do, trying to give teams first dibs on their free agents to try to keep them. But if you're Kelly Oubre, if you're Cameron Payne, if you're any player that's becoming a free agent, why would you sign a contract with the Sixers before you hear the offers from other teams? You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't expect Kelly Oubre or Cameron Payne or who else is an unrestricted free agent that they don't have bird rights to. Either way, I wouldn't expect those players to sign until other teams are able to throw offers out there and then they can decide, who's going to pay me the most. Again, Kelly Oubre, I don't know if the best thing for him is to go get the most money because that could end up with you playing for the Detroit Pistons or the Charlotte Hornets or another team that's going to amplify your deficiencies. And playing for the Charlotte Hornets almost ended Kelly Oubre's NBA career because everybody forgot about him. He was averaging, almost 20 points per game, but he was shooting like 35% from the field. He started to get this reputation for being inefficient and a ball hog and all of these things. And the Sixers signed him at the end of last offseason. He almost didn't get an offer from any other team. So now you played yourself up, and you sign with a new agency, and you feel like you're worth, I don't know, 15, 20 million a year. You got to be careful, because signing for less than that and having longevity with a team where you can be a big time contributor but not under the spotlight. If he re-signs with the Sixers, I think that's the perfect opportunity for Kelly Oubre to continue his NBA career, because you're not, like I said, you're not under the spotlight. You're not expected to lead a team or anything. If you go and sign with one of these other teams like the Pistons for more money, it could potentially hurt you in the long run. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. Do players choose the most money, or do they choose, career longevity? You know what I mean? So yeah, I wouldn't expect Kelly Oubre or Cameron Payne or any other free agents to sign until other teams get dibs. Sixers aren't going to sign anyone if it'll affect the cap space plans, and Sixers need to renounce cap holds to get cap space. They're going to wait till definitely after the draft, when Daryl Morey inevitably tries his best to trade this first round pick. And same thing with Tyrese Maxey. You could probably see rumors where the max was offered or whatever, but he won't actually sign it until later into the offseason, because the Sixers have his bird rights and they can go over the cap to give him a max contract. Whereas, I mean, you're not going to do that before you sign the other free agents. So they're going to try to they're going to try to get that Paul George signing. Daryl Morey's going to try it. And then they're going to try to fill out the team with role players and use all the cap space they can, and then give Tyrese Maxey the max that he deserves, because they'll be able to, you can go over the cap space to sign him. So that's what I would expect to happen. Do you think the Sixers could sign Caruso or Gary Trent Jr.? I love the fact that you just asked that, because the next thing on my agenda is this. The Chicago Bulls are going to continue to be the Chicago Bulls. They might have worse ownership than the 76ers at this point. The Chicago Bulls passed on multiple offers to trade Alex Caruso for multiple picks, including one in the top 10 of the 2024 NBA draft. Now, I know the 2024 NBA draft does not have any Zion Williamsons in there, does not have any Ja Morants in there, does not have any just pop out names that people are like, tank for this player, or we got to get to the top of the draft to draft this player. Victor Wembanyama, of course, to draft this player to try to change our franchise forever. There's no player in this draft that anybody thinks is going to change your franchise forever. That might happen. I'm not saying I can predict the future in that, but there's no player that pops out like that. So it's crazy to see a top 10 pick be declined in a trade. But a top 10 pick in this draft isn't like a normal top 10 pick as far as value goes. That's what I think. But the Bulls apparently rejected offers to trade Alex Caruso for multiple picks, including one in the top 10 of this year's draft. The reason: a mandate from ownership at the trade deadline to push for the playoffs. Another article put it in the words of, ownership wants to compete for the playoffs. That's like a backhanded compliment to your own fan base. Compete for the playoffs? I've never heard anybody say that. I've never heard anybody say, we want to compete for the playoffs. We don't want to trade any players to possibly improve our future team building, because we want to just maybe make the playoffs. To get bounced in the first round, of course, but we want to make the playoffs. To me, what that is that's an NBA owner saying, I want that playoff money, baby. Don't trade anybody. I want you to get in the playoffs so I can get those playoff profits. So I can get those playoff ticket sales and those playoff profits. That's what I want you to do. I don't give a shit about winning. I know you guys can't win anything, but I don't want you to trade any of these big names. Air quotes, big names. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Alex Caruso. because I want you guys to make the playoffs. I mean, that's very Josh Harris like. It's very owner like. Their whole goal is to make money. If they feel like they can sell hope to a bunch of sad fans for another year, they're going to try to do that. So apparently Alex Caruso is not available. And the Sixers will have 5 tradable first-round picks. I don't want to see him overpay for Alex Caruso. I think he would be an incredible piece for them to add. As far as his defensive ability, a backup point guard ability, his half-court facilitating, and he shoots over 40% from 3. He's like a perfect defensive-minded backup point guard. But first of all, Daryl Morey probably doesn't know who he is anyway because he never played for the Houston Rockets, and you'd have to overpay for him. And I think I would hate to see them give up like too many first-round picks or an unprotected first-round pick or something like that for Alex Caruso. But at the same time, you know what? If you sign Paul George and that actually happens, and then you say, hey, listen, if we're going to make a run for the next 2 years, let's just go balls to the wall, pause. Maybe you throw the 2028 unprotected at Chicago and some other first-round picks to get Caruso. I'm not sure, but it just seems like the Bulls aren't going to engage in negotiations because they are interested in trying to sell this collection of players to their fan base for another year and convince everyone that they can compete for the playoffs at least. And the elevation of Kobe White recently also they're going to sell, but Chicago, it's been difficult to do deals with Chicago the past couple of years. They just seem like they are a little bit delusional about their team and the players on it. I did see a video of Lonzo Ball dunking the other day. Not sure if that means anything. But yeah, there you have it. It just doesn't feel like Alex Caruso is gettable. The Bulls are the 76ers 5 years ago. The Bulls are the 76ers last year and the 2 years before when they refused to trade Tobias Harris all offseason. The Pacers nearing a long-term contract extension with Siakam, been reported first contract extension hearing. Well, good. That'll throw the Siakam trade talks out of the way for Sixers fans because I always just never been a fan of the thought of Pascal Siakam and Joel Embiid on the court together. So the Sixers, certain fans always throw out, we should trade for Pascal, or we should sign Pascal. So if they sign him, that's dope. Hey, Philly 007, thanks for subscribing to the channel. We got 395 people in here on this beautiful Tuesday. Give me 395 likes. Be active in the chat. And a couple more things here, and then I'll just rock with you guys and answer questions from the chat and things like that. Some OG Anunoby stuff, man. A quote from Mike Escato, senior NBA insider, host of the Hoops Hype podcast, USA Today Sports. OG Anunoby is expected to receive at least $35 million annually on his next contract. And I'm talking about OG because he's another name that Sixers fans talk about a lot when you're talking about free agents and potential signings and players that we were apparently trying to trade for OG Anunoby before the New York Knicks pulled off that trade because they just had more to offer younger players. Emmanuel Quickley, who's the lefty, RJ Barrett that they traded for him. And so we couldn't pull off that trade, but Sixers fans talk about OG from time to time, especially with him becoming an unrestricted free agent. From executives I've talked around the league, Anunoby's floor appears to be $35 million annually, and his ceiling is a max contract. Philadelphia will be looking for a 3-and-D small forward and has the cap space to make the offer if they believe they'll miss out on their top target, Paul George. 2 general managers told me they'd pay Anunoby $35 million annually and that a max would be tough because of his injury history. Yeah, listen, if the Sixers strike out on the Paul George signing, apparently, now it says 2 general managers told me they'd pay Anunoby $35 million annually. That doesn't say that Daryl Morey would do that. I'm I just can't get down with OG Anunoby's injuries, man. I can't. He played for the Knicks for 2 months and got hurt 3 times. I mean, he was literally in the playoffs limping up and down the floor. Like, the guy just keeps getting hurt. He hurt his elbow right when he got there, missed like 3 weeks. Then he hurt something else. Then he pulled a hamstring. Then he tried to play in those final playoff games and couldn't run. This guy is just injury. And $35 million a year for a player that's constantly injured like that is pretty wild. Joel Embiid, of course, has an injury history, but Joel Embiid's injuries are at least like it feels like one major injury every season, and he's either going to be out for a season or he's going to get surgery and come back and play, whatever it is. This guy's just hurt every 2 weeks. And they're all different all the time. I just can't. I wouldn't like that. Not even for $35 million. If they don't sign Paul George or make some splash, and then they say, okay, let's go try to just do the best we can and make the roster strong enough. I just don't think it's a smart idea to throw that kind of money at OG Anunoby at $35 million. A max contract? Hell no. Who's giving Anunoby a max contract? Who's giving OG Anunoby a max contract? That sounds insane to me. I hope the New York Knicks do it. I do. Because I feel like, Knicks fans keep telling me still that if we weren't hurt this, if we weren't hurt that, we would have done this, we would have done that. I hope the New York Knicks are forced to give OG Anunoby a max contract. The fans, for some reason, want it to happen. Because I think even if the Knicks were fully healthy last season, they might have ended up in the Eastern Conference Finals. They might have beat the Pacers. But I don't think they have enough star power to win a championship, I just never did. I think Jalen Brunson's great, but I don't think Jalen Brunson being your best player is going to win you a championship. And if they waste a max contract on OG Anunoby, then I have even less faith in the New York Knicks. But apparently the Sixers, could offer him 35. And I still don't think that would get you Anunoby. I think that would force the Knicks to pay him at least 35 or closer to a max. But Za, what up, man? Check NBA Central recent post about OG. Let's just go NBA Central. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. What are they talking about on NBA Central? Tommy Noller, member of the channel, are you going to the Celtics parade? I would rather sit in traffic on a bridge, and I have a height issue. I don't even drive over bridges. I can't stand it. I would rather sit in traffic on a bridge while repeatedly being punched in the face by Mike Tyson in the passenger seat than to ever come anywhere close to a Boston Celtics parade. And you know that. Let's move on. Here we go. Oh shit. Brian Windhorst said OG Anunoby is not thrilled with the Knicks' current offer and will test the free agent market. Let's keep an eye on that. Most people believe Anunoby will stay in New York, but there have been indications he may want to test the market because he's not. Well, of course he's going to test the market. I don't understand this as news. Any player would be smart to test the market. No, like I said, just because teams have first dibs on their free agents before June 30th, I don't expect anybody to sign a contract without hearing what other teams are offering. Why would you do that? I guess if they offered him a max, he would do that. But there's no reason for players to not test the free agent market. And if not for anything else, then to force that team to up their offer. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would expect OG to test the free agent market for sure. What else has NBA Central posted recently? Let's see. They retweeted some Celtics stuff. Nothing interesting. Nikola Jokic playing pickup game in Serbia. Yeah. So the last thing that I have is just a little article from Bleacher Report with some predictions that they have made, and we'll talk about those predictions and what we think about them. Thanks for being here. We broke 400 live in the chat. Y'all are the best, man. Give me 400 likes. So Bleacher Report's article, their number one prediction that they made is Paul George being maxed by the 76ers. And I think, again, like it's one of those where there's smoke, there's fire things. It's slowly making more and more sense. It's slowly becoming more and more realistic. And it feels like this is the offseason signing that everybody around the league, media members, media companies, etc., believe is a real possibility. Is Paul George being maxed by the 76ers? Because it just continues to come out that the Clippers aren't offering him that money. And it continues to come out that Daryl Morey will offer it. And at the end of the day, you want to go play with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and try to win an NBA championship and get the money that you want? Or do you want to go back to LA, Harden, Kawhi? That team was doing really well for a while, and then, injuries inevitably. But yeah, that's the number one prediction on the Bleacher Report article. The number two prediction is Orlando ends the Splash Brothers era. What is this thing popped up here? Get off my screen. Anyway, Klay Thompson signs with the Orlando Magic. That's the second prediction on this Bleacher Report article. And yeah, I expect Klay Thompson to sign somewhere else because it's Klay Thompson. He's declining like crazy. It sucks to see somebody with such a perfect, just 3-point shot in the history of the game go down like that after, Achilles injury or 2 ACL injuries. He just looked last year like he didn't have his legs anymore. I still think he could get it back because a 3-point shot, it just doesn't die like that. And that's been his whole game. But we'll see, man. But, signing with Orlando would be sad for a player like Klay Thompson. But I'm talking about the Magic right now. I just thought about how actually surprisingly good they were last season. So Orlando's actually in a situation where they're like, hey, we made a run last year. And we might be a couple pieces away from really competing. Like, really competing. Like, Orlando probably believes that they're a couple pieces away from being in the Eastern Conference Finals next year. I believe that they believe that. And it's a tough team. It's a young team, and they got a lot of talent, and they can make some moves to really be a threat. Number 3 prediction on the Bleacher Report article is Malik Monk to Orlando. So there's 2 Orlando predictions in this article. I would love Malik Monk in a Sixers jersey. Just catch and shoot sniper, can finish at the rim, has a dog mentality, loves to attack, loves to compete. I've always liked the dude. Even I liked him all the way back to when he was at where was he at? Kentucky, playing with De'Aaron Fox. But their prediction is Orlando Magic also. Their 4th prediction is Orlando Magic add depth by signing Tobias Harris. Yeah. Yeah, please do it. You know what? For players that, well, you'd have to wait till after June 30th for this to happen too, because they can't offer him money until then. I guess the Sixers could offer him money. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope started like between right now and June 30th, where that window of time where teams are able to offer their own players contracts, their own free agents contracts. I really hope it's not Tobias Harris. I really hope there's no offer made for Tobias Harris. That would send a message to Tobias Harris. What do you guys think, man? I just scared myself. I think I just scared myself because I feel like Daryl Morey is at least going to offer Tobias Harris, like, is he going to make him an offer? I really hope he doesn't. It's not in Tobias Harris' best interest to come back to Philly. He was being booed when his name was announced. Like, it got to the point where he was Nelson Aguilar. You know what I'm saying? They said his name on the loudspeaker and the people were booing. There's no reason for him to come back to Philly. It's not good for his brand. It's not good for his name. It's not good for him, his ability to earn more money in the NBA. There's nothing good about Tobias Harris re-signing with Philly. So even if they offer something, I don't expect him to sign it. But I would be really upset if I hear a rumor that they even offered him anything. Please no. Please no. What I heard was somewhere, I saw one prediction that was like he could get 2 years, 13 million. Imagine going from making 40 million whole American dollars per year to getting 2 years, 13. That would just be a slap in the face to Tobias Harris's delusion about himself and his agent father's delusion about him. Because he constantly tried to argue that he's worth that. You know, Sixers fans would trade me for a crumble cookie and they don't even know that I bring this and I bring that. Man, shut up. We knew the whole time you're worth about 2 years, 16 million, not 40. So if he signs a contract that low, it would feel pretty good for us because it would give us another arguing point to him and his camp. We told you you're not good. We told you you're not worth that. You know, we were right. You were wrong. For those who don't know, Tobias Harris's dad, TJ Harris, called me a broke, dusty bum on Facebook. I will take that accomplishment to my grave because I made a poster. I made a wanted poster that said Tobias Harris wanted for robbing the 76ers of $180 million. Somebody posted it in one of those Facebook groups, and TJ Harris commented on the post and said, "Y'all a bunch of broke, dusty bums." How crazy is the internet that I just made a poster about an NBA player and his father called me a broke, dusty bum? Anyway, what do we got? Rounding out to the, while they could retain Joe Ingles, Tobias Harris may provide a starting caliber player. Who wrote this? Starting caliber player is a stretch. Given how often players get injured in the NBA, Harris would be a bargain on a 2-year, $16.9 million contract. Orlando still has defensive-minded players such as Wendell Carter, Jonathan Isaac, Jalen Suggs, but its spending power this summer goes... Go ahead, do it. I mean, it's not like at 2 years, $17 million, it's not like you'd be relying on him to do anything. He could come in and he can come in and give you 15 points against the Dallas Mavericks or whatever bad defense that you're playing on any given night. He'll give you 25 against the Charlotte Hornets on a Monday night in November. You know? But I'm praying that June 30th we hear Tobias Harris signed with insert not the 76ers. And we will have a celebration when that happens. And I hope it happens on June 30th at midnight. That's what I hope. I don't think I have anything else to say today, man. 443 people in here, man. Thanks for being here. Give me 443 likes. What y'all got in the chat, man? Any questions, comments, concerns, hot takes? Throw something at me, man. Tobias is determined to be the fourth option regardless of circumstance. He's just, fourth option is just in his DNA, man. Isn't that crazy? Remember that call that I got on a live show? And dude was like, the game that that Tobias played without Joel and Tyrese, and he still got outscored by Kelly Oubre and Cameron Payne and somebody else. And he was like, how are you the third option without the first two options? Za, what up, man? I appreciate you. Let's go check it out, man. Let's go check it out. NBA Central. He says there's a new Sixers post. Let's refresh. I'm nervous. I don't even want to scroll down yet. Oh, let me put it on the screen. I don't even want to scroll down yet. I'm nervous. Here we go. The Philadelphia 76ers are expected to show interest in Miles Bridges per HP Basketball. What is HP Basketball? That's not even giving me a link right there. That's not even a Twitter page. What is HP Basketball? Somebody tell me. What is HP Basketball? I guess we'll click on the article and read it. They've been linked to George for months, with speculation only increasing after George appeared on ESPN's pregame show with Embiid. So George and Butler are the two high-profile names. The Sixers are also expected to have interest in Charlotte Hornets forward Miles Bridges. As another super chat from Fankata talking about Paul George sign and trade. Bro, what? What? Let's get back to it. They've been linked to George for months, with speculation only increasing after George appeared on ESPN's pregame show with Embiid. George and Butler are the two high-profile names. The Sixers are also expected to have interest in Charlotte Hornets forward Miles Bridges. I'll say it again about Miles Bridges, man. I don't like to do this. I don't like to bring my personal opinions on players outside of the game into like basketball talk and negotiations and talking about what Miles Bridges went to jail or got arrested for or whatever. It sucks to have to talk about that. And I try to separate my opinions on a player on them outside of basketball from the business side of it, because it's a business, and business owners, basketball team owners, GMs, they're going to sign players that they feel like can help them win basketball games. And the legal issues that he had have been, air quotes, resolved. But it's tough for me, man, because if you don't know, if you just go Google Miles Bridges and what he got arrested for and the details of it and how he got out of it, which is probably paying the girl to stop trying to put him in jail or whatever. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And anybody that can do what Miles Bridges did, I don't want to root for. I don't want to root for on a basketball team. I don't want to root for in life. Should I agree that people get second chances or what? Yeah, okay. He's done it like 3 times. One of the charges he got was throwing billiard balls at his girlfriend's moving vehicle with the kids in the car. This guy is a violent psychopath. And I'm sorry to say that. I would have a hard time rooting for Miles Bridges. And I hate that that is in the way of my thoughts on him as a basketball player. But it is. There's my take on Miles Bridges. Whatever. I don't want that to happen for those reasons. And that's my opinion on it. That topic just sucks, dude. That topic sucked. Was he convicted of any of this? Absolutely, yes, he was. I'm telling you, bro, go read about it. I'm telling you, bro, go read about it. Yeah. If it happens, I'll have to get over it. If it happens, I'll have to talk about how people get second chances, and I'll have to forget about it, because I'll have to root for him as a member of the 76ers and helping us win. And I think he's an incredible athlete. I think he still has incredible potential, even as good as he is right now. He became a pretty good three-point shooter. He is a high flyer, is an athlete, attacks the rim. I would have to get over it if they would sign him. But I would hope they go in a different direction. That's what I think. At least he's not At least he's not Tobias. Yeah. The Sixers sign a convicted blank blank, but at least it's not Tobias Harris. Anyway, that's all I got, man. Hey, thank you guys for hanging out with me, man. It's gonna be a fun off season, bro. A lot of things are gonna go down. A lot of things are gonna happen, man. I appreciate you all being here. Hit the like button if you haven't one time. All right. Sixers got some stuff to do, man.